This horrifying story happened to me a year ago. I don't know how I recovered from it. I was not myself for a few weeks, almost became an alcoholic, and almost ended up in a psychiatric clinic. But thank God it didn't come to that. It happened on my 18th birthday. We were celebrating it with friends at a club. At 11 p.m., we left the club. Most of our group went down to the subway, but my friend and I took the bus to the terminus. We chatted the whole way, slightly tipsy but not drunk. When the bus pulled up to the terminus, we got off and started walking together. Suddenly he asked, "Hey, let me walk you home so you don't get in trouble." I figured he didn't want to show up at his parents' house drunk and wanted to spend the night at my place. I liked the idea, especially since I had to walk through a deserted area near the railroad tracks, where who knows what you might run into. As I walked looking around, I didn't notice, but my friend John was walking with an unnaturally calm and confident gait. After a couple minutes of silence, I tried to strike up a conversation. "John, did you and Kathy make up?" No response. "John, come on, answer me." He just continued to walk slowly, swaying from side to side. I started to get annoyed. "Okay, stop joking around. I'm scared enough as it is." He didn't react in any way, just slowed down even more until he stopped altogether. At first, I still thought he was messing with me, and then I wondered if he had snorted something at the club. I stepped away from him and asked, shaking with excitement, "John, what's wrong?" All this time, he had been staring ahead with his head down. When I spoke, he suddenly looked up, as if he had just noticed me. But he didn't look like my friend anymore. John was about 6 feet tall and athletic, but he seemed even taller now, a slight hump on his back. I froze, my mind going blank. This went on for about 10 seconds until I heard the sound of a train. Suddenly, John lunged at me and punched me in the jaw with his fist. I instinctively swung away, but he added a swift left hook, and I fell to the ground. His punches were as precise and lightning fast as a boxer's. Sitting on the ground and holding my face, I realized there were tracks behind me and a train approaching. In the light of the oncoming train, I saw John's face. God, I thought I was going crazy. It wasn't John. His eyes were narrow with pupils dilated so that they filled the entire eye. His nose was hooked, his lips thin and white, his face long and gaunt. The kind of face you'd expect from a very thin man. But his body was huge. I didn't notice any hair. Maybe he had some, but it was very short. His mouth hung open, saliva dripping down his chin, as if he'd been injected with anesthetic and couldn't close it. It looked so abnormal that tears came to my eyes. Startled, I whispered, "Please don't hurt me." He replied in a low voice, "I'm going to remake you." As he continued to approach, I crawled backward. After his words, he tried to grab me, but I managed to twist away, jump up, and run. I had never run like that before. When I got a decent distance away, I looked back and saw that he was standing by a passing train. The train was moving almost at the speed of an express train. No sane person would stand so close to the tracks. Right before my eyes, he slowly extended his arm, twitched, and disappeared as if the train had dragged him away with it. Fear gripped me again. If I couldn't see him, he could pop out of the darkness at any moment. I sprinted, running for more than a mile without stopping, and burst into the driveway of my house. I ran up the stairs to the 4th floor, fumbled for my keys, and rushed inside. My older brother was home. I collapsed on the floor, curled up, and started sobbing. He ran up and asked, "What happened? Did someone beat you up?" My brother dragged me to the bed and made me lie down. I cried and told him everything. He said John had called and told me he got home okay, and asked me to call him when I got there. Soon my parents arrived, but they were very skeptical. My father flatly refused to believe it, saying I had too much to drink and probably had alcohol poisoning or alcohol delirium. After being home for a week, I started to come to my senses. I called John and we went for a walk. I cautiously asked, "John, after we got off the bus, how did you get home that evening?" He replied, "Well, we went each our own way right after we got off the bus. Later, as I was leaving, I heard you talking to yourself." This made me even more horrified. So when I started talking, I was already with this creature, and somehow I didn't notice when John left. It was the worst birthday party of my life.